Why do we dream? Have you ever woken up from a dream and thought, what on earth was that about? Maybe you were flying, falling, or suddenly back in school taking an exam you never studied for. Dreams can be beautiful, terrifying, or downright bizarre. But one question has puzzled humans for thousands of years. Why do we dream? From ancient civilizations that saw dreams as messages from the gods, to modern science with brain scanners and sleep labs, our curiosity hasn't changed. Today, we'll explore what dreams really are, what's happening inside your brain when you have them, and the top scientific theories that try to explain this nightly mystery. So, let's start at the very beginning. What exactly is a dream? A dream is basically your brain's movie night, except you're both the director and the main character. Dreams are mental experiences that occur during sleep, often filled with vivid images, emotions, and stories that can feel incredibly real. Sometimes they make perfect sense. Other times, you're eating spaghetti on the moon with your high school teacher, and that's totally normal in dream logic. Interestingly, we dream several times each night, even if we only remember the last one before waking up. Most dreams happen during the REM stage of sleep, when our brains are highly active, almost as if we were awake. But hold on, before we talk about why dreams happen, let's first understand how sleep itself works. So, what exactly happens to your brain while you sleep? Sleep isn't just turning off your body. It's a complex biological process with several stages that repeat in cycles throughout the night. There are two main types of sleep: NREM and REM. NREM stands for non-rapid eye movement. It has three stages, from light sleep to deep, restorative sleep where your body repairs tissues and strengthens your immune system. Then comes REM sleep, short for rapid eye movement, named because your eyes dart around quickly under your eyelids. During REM, your brain becomes highly active, your muscles relax, and your heart rate and breathing increase. This is the stage where most dreaming occurs. Think of it this way: NREM is like saving your progress, and REM is like your brain running a simulation to test everything you've learned. But now comes the real question. Why does the brain bother to create dreams at all? What purpose do they serve? Let's dive into the five main scientific theories that try to explain why we dream. 1. Freud's theory, the window to the unconscious. In the early 1900s, psychologist Sigmund Freud suggested that dreams are a way for our unconscious mind to express hidden thoughts, fears, and desires. He believed that every dream has a manifest content, what you actually see, and a latent content, the secret meaning behind it. For example, if you dream of climbing a mountain, Freud might say it represents ambition, or, depending on his mood, something more Freudian. While this theory shaped early psychology, modern science finds little evidence to support it. Still, Freud's ideas opened the door for scientists to study dreams seriously. So if Freud's theory isn't quite right, what came next? 2. The activation synthesis theory, the brain's random show. Fast forward to the 1970s. Scientists Alan Hobson and Robert M.C. Carley proposed that dreams are basically your brain's attempt to make sense of random electrical signals during sleep. In other words, your brain creates a story, any story, to give meaning to chaos. It's like when your phone autocorrects nonsense into an actual sentence. Your brain does the same thing but with images and emotions. This theory is supported by brain scans showing high activity in areas like the visual cortex during REM sleep. However, it doesn't fully explain why some dreams feel meaningful or emotional. That leads us to another perspective. Maybe dreams aren't random at all. Maybe they help us remember. 3. Memory consolidation theory, organizing the day's chaos. Imagine your brain as a student cramming notes after class. During sleep, especially REM sleep, your brain sorts through what you learned, deciding which memories to keep and which to forget. Researchers found that people who sleep after studying perform better on memory tests. It's like your brain uses dreams to file emotional experiences, strengthening important connections. This theory has strong scientific backing. Brain regions like the hippocampus, which handles memory, and the amygdala, which processes emotions, are highly active while dreaming. So, if dreams help us process memories, could they also help us prepare for the future? For threat simulation theory, training for survival. This one comes from evolutionary psychology. It suggests that dreams evolved as a kind of virtual reality training, letting us practice how to react to danger safely. You know those nightmares where you're being chased? Terrifying, yes, but maybe your brain is rehearsing how to respond under pressure. Studies show that threatening dreams are surprisingly common, and our brains might use them as a mental rehearsal space for survival. Pretty cool, right? Still, not all dreams are scary. Some are wildly creative. Which brings us to our final theory. 5. Creativity and problem solving. The brain's playground. Sometimes, dreams connect ideas that seem unrelated, sparking moments of genius. For instance, the scientist Kukul famously dreamed of a snake biting its own tail, which inspired the circular structure of the benzene molecule. Your brain during REM sleep behaves like an artist experimenting without rules. It combines memories, emotions, and imagination to create new ideas. In a way, your dreams are your brain's late night brainstorming sessions. But if dreams are so powerful, why do we forget most of them the moment we wake up? You open your eyes, remember a dream for 3 seconds, and poof, it's gone. Why? Because the part of the brain responsible for forming new memories, the hippocampus, is less active during sleep. It's like your brain is writing with invisible ink. The story fades as soon as you wake up. However, people who wake up naturally during REM sleep often remember more, because the dream gets a brief chance to save into long-term memory. So, if you want to remember your dreams, don't jump out of bed right away. Stay still for a few seconds and replay them in your mind. But how much of all this do we really know for sure? With EEGs and brain imaging, scientists can now observe the brain in real time while dreaming. They've confirmed that REM dreams are linked to high activity in the visual and emotional centers of the brain, almost like watching a movie that feels real. Yet even with all this technology, the core mystery remains unsolved. Why do we dream at all? There's still no single answer. Maybe dreams are a mix of everything: emotion, memory, imagination, and evolution, all wrapped into one nightly performance. So, what does that say about us? Dreams remind us that our minds are still exploring while our bodies rest. They might not be messages from gods, but they are messages from within, whispers from the deepest parts of our own consciousness. Every night, your brain becomes a storyteller, a scientist, and an artist, weaving fragments of your life into something new. And maybe, just maybe, each dream is your brain's way of saying, "Hey, I'm still thinking," even while you sleep. So, what's the strangest dream you've ever had? Share it below. And if you enjoyed this little journey into your sleeping mind, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more adventures through science and the universe. Sweet dreams.